Yeah, I can't hear you, John. So I got to figure out how to. I can't hear you.
Jerry DePaul is here with us. John Fedko.
Hi, Jerry. You guys are going in and out, so I can't hear you. I have no audio. Not quite sure the audio is working. The great Jerry DePaula.
Don't hear the sound that I normally do. I know.
I heard you for 1 second there. You're going in and out.
Is that any better this time around? Okay. Can you hear me, John?
I can hear you now. You just got
good.
your audio just started working.
Good to see you. Good to hear,
thanks
hear your
for coming.
voice. How about that library behind you? Is that all your books that you've read?
Those are records back there, Jerry.
Oh yeah, I can't
A
tell
lot
what
of
they
those are
are.
records. I have a huge vinyl record collection.
Very
Big
nice.
vinyl record collector. Big fan of the 70s music.
You're a child of the '60s like me, right?
Well, I'm an old man, Jerry. How old are you? I'm
Also-
65. How old are you?
Oh, well, I got you beat. 71.
There you go. How
Yeah.
old's Phillips? We're all too old for this. How old's Phillips?
Everybody momentarily, I swear. He's just trying to get online here.
Okay.
How's your son, John? Where's he at?
Well, both of them are home. So
We're playing baseball.
We're not on the air yet.
Are we on the air?
Yeah, you talk. I'll be joining you guys just in a moment.
Oh,
Both my boys are home.
yeah.
Kyler, hit 28 homers, 38 steals, and ended up in AAA.
Nice. Twins organization. The Twins.
Organization.
Nice.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear.
All right. Let's talk. Let's talk Steelers.
We're
live.
It's going to be a little odd, but we're going to do our best. Can you hear me now, Mr. Fedko?
I can hear you.
You cannot hear me. Now you can hear me? Okay. The sad part is I can't hear him, which is odd in and of.
I can hear him.
Okay, well,
I can hear you.
More
Yep.
important, probably.
We're on.
Sunday post game. We'll get through this. I swear, we're going to get through this. And the Steelers. I mean, what are we even talking about here? This team has shocked everybody in this city. Let's start with you, John Fedko. 23-9 victory, ugly as it normally is when it comes to the AFC North. Your thoughts on today's game? Aaron Rodgers, you're muted.
Well, first of all, it's great to have a great quarterback, and you see how important quarterback is in the NFL. It's really everything. And that's been the big problem for the Steelers over the last few years, ever since, Ben Roethlisberger left. And now we have a great quarterback. And I don't care what Pro Football Focus says. They're a complete joke, by the way. The fact that Pro Football Focus has said anything negative about Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous. And I hate those kind of breaking down the stat places because they're always so wrong. Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal today. And I mean phenomenal. And if you don't have Aaron Rodgers in this game, I think the Steelers may lose this game. And I'm in complete disagreement. By the way, I love Paul Zeiss. I love him. You guys know that. He was great this morning. But he tweeted out something negative about Dylan Gabriel, and it was ridiculous. I thought Dylan Gabriel was great. I thought Dylan Gabriel played a great game considering the circumstances, considering it was his second NFL game, considering he was up against a great defense and great defensive players. His receivers completely let him down. If Fanning catches that ball that's perfectly placed by Gabriel, this is a different ball game. There were 3 huge drops by the Cleveland receivers. Let's go back to Aaron Rodgers, though. I want to talk about 3 plays that make Aaron Rodgers such a great quarterback. Let's start right with the first play of the game. That incredible play-action play. That was Peyton Manning-esque, Aaron Rodgers-esque. That was a sensational play-action play. That actually fooled me as I was watching it. I thought he handed the ball off. Because of that great play-action, he hit, what's becoming the biggest star on the Steelers other than Rodgers, Darnell Washington, with that 36-yard pass down the sidelines. The other play that was incredible, again, that a guy like only Aaron Rodgers kind of pulls off, is they have a I think it was 3rd and 3 in the second quarter. Rodgers scrambles around, buys himself some time, and then shovels passes for a 6-yard first down. And then the other great play that Aaron Rodgers produces that is an Aaron Rodgers-esque touchdown that we haven't seen since Roethlisberger is, 12-yard line of Cleveland, he rolls out to his right, does what you're not supposed to do, throw across your body, and throws a perfect strike to Connor Hayward. Those are 3 plays that only great quarterbacks make. And because of Aaron Rodgers, it's a 23-9 win. You take those 3 plays out of the game, and the whole game's completely different. And again, I want to completely disagree with Paul Zeiss. I think Dylan Gabriel's really, really good. I think he's got a great future in this league. I know he's small, and I don't like small quarterbacks. And he's got to make up with that with his scrambling ability, which he did in college. But he's got a great future. And if he doesn't lose his right tackle, this idiotic concussion protocol stuff, his right tackle let him down. Because when he lost his right tackle, man, Nick Herbig went insane. Okay. I mean, Nick Herbig was one of the top 3. If you're doing a hockey 3 stars, Nick Herbig was incredible. Absolutely incredible. But he ate that right tackle, the backup guy, for lunch. Okay. And really changed the trajectory of the game because when the right tackle left for the concussion nonsense, Herbig went crazy. So,
John, let me correct you one thing, if I may.
Yeah.
You said he played a great game, Gabriel. He played a good game. They didn't score any touchdowns. And maybe
Jerry, if Fanning catches that ball, they're scoring a touchdown there.
Well, there wasn't a touchdown. It wasn't a touchdown throw.
Yeah, but it was going to be down at the 12-yard line, and I'm with you on that. But I'm taking. You're right about that. I'm grading him on a curve.
The word "great" is thrown around too much.
You're right, Jerry. And I'm grading him on a curve. I'm grading him on a curve. Okay.
He played well, not great.
Second NFL game against a really good team in a great environment. I'm with you. I'm grading him on a curve. But to say that Shedeur Sanders is a complete and utter joke, and I don't want to turn this into he's a complete joke. And to say and for Paul to tweet that Sanders would be better than this is nonsense.
Well, John, you don't know he's a joke. He hasn't played yet.
He is a joke. Well, Jerry, trust me, when you see him play, he's a joke. And he should have been cut last week. Okay, so let's see how that turns out.
They can't cut him. They traded 2 other quarterbacks.
I know. But I just want to again. I want to listen to Dylan Gabriel. There's so many more bigger stories than that. The Steelers are going to win the division. They won the division today. I mean, Baltimore's a disgrace. That and the big story in Baltimore is not Lamar Jackson going down. It's that joke of a defensive coordinator they have, Zach Orr. Total joke. Their defense is a disgrace, and I'm pointing the finger at their defensive coordinator, Zach Orr. He's a joke, okay? And all you got to do is look at the stats there. Cincinnati's not going to win. I know they're playing now. Flacco's not going to help them. And Cleveland, I mean, they're decent. Cleveland's decent. They have a decent defense. I like Gabriel. Their receivers just let him down. But listen, the Steelers, Jerry, the Steelers, I believe, from what I saw today, they're Super Bowl contenders. I mean, I know.
They're the best team. Go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, can you hear me now? You can't hear me through the headset. All right, well,
John, they're the best team. They're the best team in the division.
That's
but
right.
they also have what, 12 games to play yet, right?
That's correct.
Yes. So let's not give them the division title yet. Here,
I'm giving them the division title. This division is an absolute disgrace. I'm giving the division title.
Well,
that's not saying a lot. Now listen, they were going to catch a break until Indianapolis is the team to watch, I think, right now, and they ended up winning that game. They're for real. Jacksonville lost, so that's a break for the Steelers. And the big, Kansas City's got a huge game coming up here with Detroit. So you're right. There's a lot of football to be left. I would not put the Steelers in the top 4 in the AFC, but the fact that they're trending to maybe get home field advantage and for how long is critical because home field advantage is really important for them, I believe.
Well, one thing I'd say about the Steelers being a contender, they are a contender, and I think their defense has a lot to do with it.
Oh, absolutely.
You had 3 linebackers today: Herbig, Watt.
Yep. Yes.
Herbig, Watt, Queen, and Highsmith. 4 linebackers.
Highsmith was incredible today.
I thought played really, really well.
I thought this was a great defensive game plan against a rookie quarterback. They threw the kitchen sink at the kid. They blitzed him, and they did what they had to do. I totally agree. I think the Steelers have a Super Bowl contending defense. I think they're a little soft in the secondary. Those guys are injury prone. I'm not a big Porter fan. I thought Sean Elliott played a great game today. I am a big fan of him. Got caught with one of those stupid, idiotic personal foul penalties. Again, they feminized the league. That's not a penalty, what he did. It's not, Jerry. It's a joke. Okay? That's a joke. That's a penalty.
I like your vocabulary, John.
It's a joke. They feminized the league. That's a joke. I'm watching the ball. I'm watching with my son. You know what, Jerry? Again, I'm not going to pass this up because these kids that are on the talk shows don't realize what football was like when it was real in the 70s. There was about 20 of those hits. I'm not kidding you, about 20 of them in every game in the 70s. Now you hit a guy like that, and it's a flag. They feminized the league, and it's painful. Listen, let me start with this, Jerry, and I love you, Jerry. The NFL's a joke. It's a terrible product. I don't like watching it anymore. It's not as good as it used to be. And I'm not getting off your lawn because I'll tell you what's a better product in the 70s is Major League Baseball. I watched Seattle and Detroit play an unbelievable game on Friday. Did you see that game, that 15-inning game?
15 innings.
Unbelievable
every
game.
Pitch,
Unbelievable game. I thought the Chicago game last night was an unbelievable game. And I like the rule changes in Major League Baseball. I think it's improved the game. I think Major League Baseball is better than the 70s. The NFL isn't even close to the 70s. It's a terrible product. It's a terrible product. And if John wasn't asking me to do this, I wouldn't even watch that game today. It's a terrible product.
Can anybody even hear me at this point? Okay, we got some sound. Hey,
go ahead, John.
Technical director, I can tell you that right now. John Fedko. We got Jerry DePaula. It's Steel City Sunday postgame show live from the North Park Lounge, Richland, and the Hilltop Event Center. Steelers win 23-9. Incredible game again today by this defense.
Yeah.
Just stellar. 6 sacks. I think it was 6. They might have grabbed another one late in the game. Yeah. Just really and again, Dylan Gabriel, rookie quarterback. You can't expect a whole lot. Efficient. Aaron Rodgers. The funny thing, John, you mentioned the touchdown pass to Connor Hayward. I was checking out Emmanuel Ochoa, who is a former NFL player. He's on X, tries to break things down. He said exactly the same thing you did. Precision throw, surgical throw. And that's what's been missing since Ben left.
Correct.
They have not had that. So you're spot on in your assessment. And I mean, who would have thought this?
Well, Jerry, I know that, first of all, I love Jerry DePaula. And
I love you too, John.
I do love you, Jerry.
I love you too.
The fact that Justin Fields, who is one of the worst quarterbacks I have ever seen in the NFL, is starting on an NFL game. If you watch that Jets-Denver game from London for 5 minutes, I feel sorry for you. That guy is a disgrace. And the fact that he was quarterbacking the Steelers, I mean, it was a total joke, okay? Now we finally have a guy who's a decent quarterback. Now, this isn't the same Aaron Rodgers that was incredible. He's an old man, but he's a decent quarterback, okay? And I told you the 3 plays I thought that made the difference. The first play, the magical play action, that's just a sensational quarterback made by a veteran quarterback. And let's, Jerry, I know you're going to agree with this. I love this Darnell Washington.
Oh, yeah. Mount Washington, yeah.
I love him.
You need 5 guys to bring him down, yeah.
He is a real star. And he's going to get bigger and bigger. Literally,
Yeah.
You know, a 300-pound guy that can move like that, and can catch and can block. This guy's a real star, and you can tell Aaron Rodgers loves him. In the clutch, he's going to Darnell Washington, and I don't know what, I didn't even see his stats. He had, what do you have? Maybe 6 catches today. He had a lot. He is a really huge weapon physically.
3 catches.
Yeah. How many do you have?
3 for 62.
Okay, so hey, they were all big ones.
Right.
And listen, DK Metcalf, he's the real deal, man. This guy, he's a big play player. He's a quote-unquote splash play guy. I know that Aaron Rodgers missed him on a wide-open bomb, but then he comes right back to Metcalf underneath, and more yak from that guy. I love DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers has real weapons. And I also want to give a shout-out to the offensive line. I thought the offensive line played really, really good today, especially that left side. That left side of the offensive line really did a great job. Protection and blocking on runs. Jerry, what I really loved was the first down running. I know the stats aren't big for rushing for the Steelers, but I thought the physicality, I thought Warren and I thought both running backs did a great job physically. Both of them did, and that's a really good sign.
0 sacks given up. Myles Garrett, 1 total tackle.
Yeah,
they do try.
Yeah, I thought the offensive line was phenomenal.
Offensive line really did a great job.
You know, the people in Pittsburgh were losing their minds about Broderick Jones early in the season. Oh, he's a bust. Oh, he's no good.
Great game today.
Made another first-round draft big bust. The guy's played well for about 3 games in a row now. And the thing about the Pittsburgh fans, they get so wrapped up so early on the first thing that goes wrong. All of a sudden, they're gonna end up 6-11. You know what? Let's let the season play out before we know exactly how this team is going to be.
Jerry, I really think the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. Not because they are
too. I think they are too. I agree with you.
Not because they're great, but you take a look at the rest of the league. Every single team has warts, including the Buffalo Bills. That defense is absolutely can be had. Okay.
So you know what's scary is that you mentioned Justin Fields a minute ago. The Steelers were trying to sign Justin Fields before they went out there and Rodgers. What if Justin Fields had said yes to their contract offer?
Justin Fields is a joke.
Where would the team be today?
He's a joke. And listen, that's again. They lucked out getting Aaron Rodgers in because Aaron Rodgers is really, really good. And I think he's played really, really good in every game. And he's again, those intangible plays, the 3rd and 3, scrambling around, buying time, and then shovel pass for 6 yards. Very Ben Roethlisberger-like, okay? And he's very, very cool under pressure. You can also tell he's a great leader. He's got everything under control, even when I was having the helmet problems. He's right away, I want this problem solved. So Aaron Rodgers is the glue here. And it's always about the quarterback. That's why Detroit's doing great. That's why Indianapolis is all of a sudden doing great. So, and we've watched, Kansas City with the best quarterback in the league, maybe Patrick Mahomes. It's always about the quarterback. You got to start there. Whether that's the easy thing to talk about, but I thought Aaron Rodgers was sensational today. Made the plays when he had to make them.
Now, part of the contractual agreement to bring John Fedko onto this show was to bring in a guy named Big Ed and
Big Ed,
John
my
Lacey. Well,
Yeah.
Big Ed is not available. He told me he could not make it,
Okay.
but John Lacey is, and we're going to bring him in right now.
John
So
Lacey's a 40-year season ticket holder.
Let's bring John Lacey in. Get rid of me. Oh, there he is. We got an ear.
What's up, boys?
We got an ear. John Lacey's ear is live
Yeah,
on
we
the
gotta
show.
get him.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there's John
There he
right
is.
there.
How's that?
So John's a
that better?
40. John's in our age group. John,
What's
you're
up, boys?
60. Well, how old are you, John?
67.
Okay, so how long have you had season tickets?
My whole life.
Well, what's your whole? Well, so you've been going to Steeler games since when? The early 80s.
Teenager.
Well, give me a year.
My grandfather had tickets.
Wow.
He had
Okay.
him at Pitt Stadium, actually.
So 50 years then. 50 years.
Yeah.
At least.
So you've seen a lot of Steeler games then.
Yeah,
What do you think about this team, John? After watching them, a couple of home games now, they lost to Seattle and now they win today. What do you think?
well, I like the acquisitions they made because normally they were always like drafts, right? But the acquisitions they made, those are the ones that are making the difference. Like
What do you think about Aaron Rodgers? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers?
All those people.
Yeah. How was the atmosphere in the stadium today?
It was electric, man. Everybody had the October cancer terrible towels going, and it was awesome.
Awesome. Where do you sit? Where's your seats at?
101.
Okay, where is that? What are you looking at?
It's in the end zone underneath the big scoreboard.
Is that where you've always sat?
No, I've sat everywhere. All kinds of different seats. I just ended up there, actually.
Who do you go to the games with?
It depends. Everybody's. I got a car full right now. I'm driving the car, dude.
Who?
Look.
Are they?
Stay safe, please. Hello.
Don't get in a wreck because you're on this big show with us. And you see any fights in the stands? There's always fights at Cleveland games. See any fights?
Anything with the Fedco zone, I had to join. There was no way I was missing it.
Yeah, where's Big Ed?
You know what? He's probably sound asleep by now.
What did you guys leave the game early?
No, he's just a big wuss. He's probably sound asleep right now.
Did you leave the game early? Or did you stay till the end? Because it was
No,
close.
we left with like 3 minutes to go. We left.
Oh, okay. So they had the game in hand.
Oh no,
John,
yeah.
John, let me ask you, John. Let me ask you a question. Is this Steelers team remind you of any Steelers teams in the past that you've been able to watch?
Yeah, what I've liked over the last several games, and I'm not sure they really played anybody yet of significance other than Seattle, but they're getting better every week. Like they seem to be, communicating and all that on the defense, and then Rodgers and everybody seems to be getting more compatible with each other as the weeks go on.
How many games have you missed over the years, John?
How many games?
How many games have you missed? Any?
I usually miss maybe one or two a year. I might miss just because of something going on with personal stuff, but whatever. But yeah, it's every game, man. Every game.
Awesome. Did you go to Dublin 2 weeks ago? Were you in Dublin?
I did not.
You're not going to Dublin. Okay.
Have you traveled? Have you traveled with the team? Have you traveled with the away games?
Yeah,
have you been
the
to
last
road
away
games,
game
John?
that was Timo von Oelhoffen rolling up on Carson Palmer's leg
In Cincinnati.
Yeah. I was there. Jerry, were you in the press box for that one?
I was not there. No, I was not there.
I was there. That was the end of the season for Cincinnati. Cincinnati that was their best.
Yeah, the Bungle fans were very pissed off that day.
Yeah, that was part of that amazing run. So. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. Tell Big Ed we said hi. And it's going to be a great year. You're going to have a lot of fun out there. It's going to be a lot of fun this year.
We'll keep
the Green Bay game's
enjoy the rest of your podcast. Enjoy it.
Yeah, the Green Bay game's going to be awesome. That's a Sunday night game.
Sunday night game, a couple Sundays from
That's
now.
gonna
Yeah.
be great. That'll be that. I love it. John Lacey, 40-year season ticket holder. Where's Big Ed? Big Ed's my neighbor.
I just tried to text him. I have no idea.
We're gonna
he may be asleep.
Yeah, this is going to be a great season. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be now some huge game. I mean, that Thursday's game is going to be a joke, probably. Let's see how Flacco does today. They're playing Green Bay right now, aren't they? I believe they're playing.
They are. They're just underway, actually. I was going to say, let's recap the scores from the 1 o'clock games for everybody, just so they know. Yeah, there was definitely some good games today. We'll start with Seattle and Jacksonville. Seattle undefeated on the road still. 20-12 victory over Jacksonville. Carolina has won their second game of the year. They beat Dallas 30-27. Indianapolis now 5-1. They come back and beat Arizona 31-27. It was a defensive struggle in Baltimore. John Harbaugh could be out. LA Rams 17. Baltimore 3. New England has won 3 games now this year. They defeat New Orleans on the road 25-19. The Chargers get a last-second field goal. They beat Miami 29-7. Of course, the Steelers 23-9 over Cleveland. Denver 13-11 earlier today over in Europe over the New York Jets. Currently in action right now, a couple of games in progress. The Las Vegas Raiders lead Tennessee in the second quarter 3-0. Green Bay and Cincinnati no score at the end of the first quarter. Tampa Bay has a 7-3 lead on San Francisco about halfway through the first quarter of there. We are live from the North Park Lounge, Richland, and the Hilltop Event Center alongside Jerry DePaula, longtime writer for the Tribune Review, John Fedko, joining us on our post-game show. Excited to have John on, and I should say, not just to mention North Park Lounge Richland, but Arch Masonry and Restoration, another one of our big sponsors here on the show. If you're a brick mason, block mason, if you're a concrete finisher, if you're a construction laborer looking for a career, you might want to check out Arch Masonry and Restoration. I've been in construction for more than a decade. I've worked with Arch for over 10 years. Really good company. They care about their employees. Great benefits program, great bonus programs, placement and advancement opportunities. And if you have no experience, no problem. They can train you and jumpstart your career with the programs they have in place to teach you about brick masonry or finishing concrete. 412-564-5733 or visit them on the web, archmasonryinc.com to learn more. Back with John Fedko and Jerry DePaula. I mean, 4-1 in complete command of the division right now. A home playoff, it's early, but a home playoff game possibly looms down the road. How do you feel about that, John?
Well, if there's not a home playoff game, it becomes a joke now. I mean, again, the division's a disaster. I don't know how Baltimore recovers from this. Again, I think that their problem is not just Lamar Jackson being out; it's their defensive coordinator's a complete joke. The Zach Orr is terrible. Look at what's going on with their defense. It's ridiculous. And I mean, let's take a look at where the Steelers stand, because while the Steelers are going to dominate this division, I don't know if they're going to lose a game in the division. And I mean that sincerely. The two teams, there are actually 3 teams I'm worried about. I thought I was interested to see how the Chargers were going to do, because the Chargers are a really, really good team, and they ended up pulling out that game today. And New England apparently is for real. I love their quarterback, and they go deep. If you watch the highlights today, man, that guy can throw. New England is for real, and Indianapolis is for real. And a lot of people weren't talking about New England, and a lot of people weren't talking about Indianapolis. And that makes the Steelers look even better because of that New England situation. I think this is going to be a really, really exciting AFC run, because Buffalo and Kansas City have come back to earth. Buffalo's defense is not that great, and Kansas City has cracks in the armor. So, Jacksonville, big loss today. I mean, Seattle's a good team. We know that. So, but I thought that was a game that Jacksonville needed to win. But I think the AFC is going to be really, really exciting, and I think home field advantage is going to be critical. You don't want to have to go to Kansas City, and you don't want to have to go to Buffalo. And right now, with this AFC North being so pathetic, it is not out of the question for the Steelers to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. I never would have thought saying that before the season started, but this division's a disgrace. And I can see the Steelers running this division and getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And at that point, they're a real legitimate Super Bowl contender.
John, before you get excited, just remember the Steelers have lost 2 home playoff games recently.
I know, but they didn't have Aaron Rodgers.
Cleveland and Jacksonville.
But they didn't have Aaron Rodgers.
Quarterback then. Well, Ben was your quarterback for those
I know,
games.
but I thought Ben was fading towards the end, and there were a lot of problems with the offensive coordinator back then. There were a lot of other things that we could talk about. I like this offensive coordinator combo with Ben, and we've got now Jerry and John. We got some legitimate offensive stars to talk about. Darnell Washington is a legitimate NFL star, much like the fridge of the Chicago Bears. Remember the days? This guy's unstoppable, and they're finding ways to get him open. And you're going to see his numbers go up, and especially around the goal line, you're going to see his numbers go up. And DK Metcalf's a star, man. He's a star. He's a big-time player.
I think what we're doing, we're forgetting about Arthur Smith. I think Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, might be the Steelers' best offensive coordinator since Dick Haley.
That's why you're the man, Jerry. I totally agree that Arthur Smith has done a tremendous job. And him and Aaron Rodgers together, you can see it's meshing. Listen, there were some incredibly optimistic things today. There were at least 2, I remember, first down runs that went for 10 yards or more by both running backs. And I love Jalen Warren. I don't know if he can continue being this physical, but he was running over guys. He was tagging guys.
He barreled that guy over early in the game. Yeah,
the stats aren't going to look big for either of the running backs, for him and Gabe Smith. They were like 50 yards, but they had a couple of runs on first down, both of them, that were really, really impressive. Now you can set up the play action, and Rodgers can scramble around down there, and their offensive line was good enough today against a really good defense. I mean, that Cleveland defense is really good. I know they had a new corner come in, and he played really well, by the way. But I think the Steelers look like a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They have stars on linebacker. Again, they have some weaknesses. I think their secondary's weak. Not weak, but it's soft. You can get to them. I do love Deshaun Elliott. I've already said that. I'm not a big fan of Porter. Okay, and was he hurt again at the end of the game? I don't know. And
I think he finished the game.
Yeah, Watt was on the side. I think they were just resting him. The game was kind of out of hand. But you mentioned it. They had. I agree. They had 4 star performances today. Herbig, the biggest one. Watt, Highsmith, and Queen. And I tell you what, Queen put some hits on some guys. Man, he's a tough dude.
You know what I liked about the offense today, John, was that they averaged 4 yards per carry, 25 carries, 100 yards exactly, and they were committed to the run. They were having trouble running a bit early, but they kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And the more you do it, the more you grind it out. Then I think you have a chance to set up things in the passing game. And I think Arthur Smith has put together good game plans so far in 5 games this season.
I love Arthur Smith. I would give Arthur Smith after today an A. I just would. I think he's using Aaron Rodgers. He's a 40-year-old guy. And
41.
41. Okay.
He'll be 42 in December.
Well, he's using him perfectly. Okay. You got to protect him because it's all about is he still there in December. Okay. You got to keep him upright and healthy in December.
It brings up another point, John. What are they going to do next season? Do you think Rodgers will play another season?
Well, if he wins a Super Bowl, he may.
Well,
listen, they're a Super Bowl contender. Look, there's a lot of football to be talked about next season. I think there's a legitimate reason to be excited, not because the Steelers are a great team. It's because their division is pathetic, one of the worst divisions in football, definitely the worst in the AFC. It's a gimme. So now you're legitimately talking about home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And if they get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Hey,
They are.
16? Okay. Well,
John, you and I were at the Super Bowl in Arizona, right? I remember doing that show with that rooftop. Remember that?
Remember the halftime performance of Super Bowl 40? Well, that was Super Bowl 30.
30. That's what I'm talking about.
30.
Yeah.
That was 30. You're right in Dallas. Yes, I remember that. Me, you,
we
and
did a show
Dover.
from a rooftop somewhere in Arizona.
Yeah, that was Jerry. We had like a cast of 20 doing that. Those are the good old days when television was we were rolling in money.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was I was out in Arizona for 2 weeks for that.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, 2 weeks
Good
for
for you.
that. That was a great game. Of course, it was the Neil O'Donnell interception game. You know, that's what immediately comes to mind. The 2 picks, but it was a great game.
Well, John, let me play devil's advocate for 1 second. I'm watching the Packers and the Bengals right now, and they started the second quarter, and it's only 3-0 Green Bay.
Awesome.
What if Cincinnati somehow wins this game, and then the game Thursday night in Cincinnati becomes bigger than we think?
I love the Steelers defense, man, and Joe Flacco ain't gonna in 2 weeks here. I'm sorry, I'm not a big Joe Flacco guy.
You're probably right.
I would bet money on the Steelers defense.
I would love
Joe Flacco.
I'd love to see Cincinnati win today and make that game Thursday night really mean something.
I would not, but I mean, they may. Maybe they do. Maybe they win it. I wouldn't bet on it. It'd be amazing. It would be amazing if Flacco went in there immediately and won it. That was
I would bet,
amazing.
John, if I had access to your money. Then I would bet a lot of money. If I had access to your money, I'd bet for sure.
Here's a couple things that are clear. The Baltimore Ravens are a joke. And again, I'm pointing the finger right at that defensive coordinator, Zach Orr. Their defense is a joke. They actually had a shot to win that game. And then they gave up like 2 touchdowns in like 30 seconds. So they should have won that game today, okay? And Cincinnati, they're just not going to win without Joe Burrow. God bless Joe Flacco, but the Steelers defense will eat him for lunch.
Yeah, the Steelers
I like the Dylan Gabriel guy, and I like Cleveland. I know their record is the worst of all of them, but they have a decent defense. They were in that game. They were a tough team. If Fanning catches that ball, it's a different ball game.
Yeah,
that ball was perfectly placed to him, and that would have given him like a first down at the 12, I think.
The Steelers got a break this season with Burrow going down, with Lamar Jackson going down, and with Cleveland's quarterback situation being such a mess.
There's a bunch of nuns in Pittsburgh praying because they got every single break in the book this year. In a year where they have a really good quarterback, a really good offensive coordinator, their defense is healthy so far. They're Super Bowl contenders. They just are. They're Super Bowl and Buffalo and Kansas City both have cracks in the armor. But Buffalo and Kansas City can be had, and they look like the two dominant. I'm really interested to see this Kansas City Detroit game. That's one of the matchups of the year. I mean, if Detroit beats them, Kansas City's all of a sudden got 3 losses. So that's almost like a must-win for Kansas City because you take Kansas City out of their home field, and I know Mahomes has beaten Buffalo all over the place. You take Kansas City out of Kansas City, and it's over. They're not coming back to Super Bowl. They need to be at home. They need to be at Arrowhead. Now, I think Buffalo can win on the road. That quarterback's the best in the league. Yeah, he's really he's in a class by himself. But I think you take Kansas City out of Kansas City, and the Steelers beat them here. I'd love to see Kansas City come here because remember, we're always going to Kansas City. The Steelers always have to go to Kansas City. Let's see them come here. Let's see them come to Heinz Field with Big Ed and John Lacey and all the fans here. And let's see how that plays out. Okay?
I will preface they did come here last year and smash us around. That was Christmas Day, was it not?
I don't want to talk about last year.
Okay.
I mean, Jerry, I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers makes all the difference in the world. I'm not trying to be just Pollyannish about this or it's that simple, but it really is. That the problem with the Steelers has always started with that stupid quarterback. They have been horrific at quarterback since Ben. And it was now I want to take that back. I want to take that back. I think Mason was actually okay. I think he was actually
3 games.
Yeah, he was okay. No, of all of them, he was the guy that was legitimate. The rest of them were complete jokes. Russell Wilson was a joke. He was a joke. He was an absolute joke, okay? And so if your quarterback is horrific, you have no shot. Now, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is great. He had a great game today, okay? But he's good enough. and you give Aaron Rodgers, this offensive coordinator, DK Metcalf, who is great, Darnell Washington, who's one of the biggest stars in the NFL. I'm saying that. I'm not exaggerating. This guy's going to be a star.
He made 3 catches today, John.
Yeah, but he's unstoppable. Jerry, he's unstoppable.
No.
He's unstoppable.
He didn't score a touchdown.
But he's unstoppable. I know, but you got to know where he's at now. And he made some huge plays, including on third down.
They're smart to use him. Absolutely. They're smart to use him.
I don't know if you're going to hear about Freiermuth again. You may want to take his $11 million and do something else with that. Because now, again, people get hurt in the NFL, okay? And it's great to have Freiermuth on this roster, and I love him. But I love this Darnell. If you were to tell me who's the biggest star in the team right now, I would put Darnell Washington number 1. He is an unstoppable force. And I know the stats aren't big, and I love DK Metcalf. This guy's a superstar.
His hands are amazing. Like, I watched him a lot in Georgia because I lived down south at that time. And, I mean, he can catch the football. He's got great hands. And I was begging this team for 2 years to just throw the ball one time.
They're doing it now.
Now they're finally doing it. Oh. And him against a linebacker.
You can't stop him.
No,
him against you can't. Skinny little defensive backs.
Or a defensive back, right.
Eyes. And Aaron Rodgers knows it. And even though he's not making catches, you gotta figure out where he's at, and that leaves guys like.
But he's a good player. He's a good player. He's not the most valuable Steeler, though. Aaron Rodgers is the most valuable Steeler.
And I would buy that, and I would and we would go to, and I would also put T.J. Watt ahead of him and Nick Herbig again ahead of him. I agree with that, Jerry. But I think he's a really exciting player. He's got me excited.
Oh yeah,
and he's a giant difference maker. So let's talk about. We've mentioned 3 guys that have emerged this year. We all knew Watt was going to be great, and we kind of knew Herbig and Highsmith, and the linebackers are always huge in the Steelers defense. Okay, but we did not know the greatness. I'm talking greatness of Darnell Washington, DK Metcalf, who's a real star, and I mean he's a big play guy, man. How many more games do you want to see of this guy? And if Rodgers throws a good pass, he has that bomb. He's wide open. That's a touchdown. Okay. And of course Aaron Rodgers, who's not perfect. But he's got an offensive coordinator who's using him exactly like you should. Short passes, yak. You got the players to yak. You got the yak guys out there right now. Now everybody's got to stay healthy. They can't lose Metcalf. You lose Metcalf, you're in huge trouble. He's kind of like a Hines Ward type guy. He's very, very, very valuable to this offense. And you can see how critical he was today. And he may be the best yak guy, one of the best yak guys in the league. You get him an open field, and they're doing that.
He'll knock people over too. He's like a tight end at wide receiver.
Yeah, what do you have? He probably had close to 100 yards today. He didn't have 100. Check. He
95.
Yeah, that's good. You're going to get 100 out of DK. You're going to get 100 yards out of DK Metcalf every game, and in one of these games, he's going to have like a crazy game. Well, he is. He's going to have a crazy because that's the kind of player he is. He is a really great talent, and now you give Aaron Rodgers that, and the offensive line played a really, really good game today against a really good defense. I think Cleveland's defense is legit. They're good. They were good last week. They should have won that game last week in London. I thought Cleveland had a really good game against Minnesota. And they should have won that game. And they have everybody knows about Myles Garrett. He's phenomenal. And I think the Steelers did a really good job neutralizing him. Again, that left side of the offensive line today was really, really good. They did a really good job on running and pass protection. How many times was they sacked?
Zero. Yeah, zero. Yeah. By the way, 21 of 30, 70% completion percentage for 235 yards, average 7.8 per attempt, passer rating of 115.
No picks.
No picks.
Yeah, Jerry, we're gonna be doing this game. We're gonna be doing this show in late January. Look, you're talking about a guy that's not a big Steelers guy. And after what I've seen, because of what's going on in the rest of the league, you always got to take the rest of the league into account, okay? So when you're watching the NFL of the last, let's say 2 years ago, you're saying, well, this is Kansas City and Buffalo. Everybody else can just phone it in. But that is not the case anymore. And now with this Kansas City-Detroit game coming up, Kansas City could be in huge trouble. And Buffalo, we've already seen, is that their defense is just not good.
John, the Chiefs will win tonight. Take it to the bank. The Chiefs will win.
Well,
Call your bookie.
No, Jerry, I'm with you. I would not bet against the Kansas City Chiefs. I would not.
They're at home, right? Aren't they at home?
Yeah, I would not bet against. And as much as Detroit is really good, I wouldn't bet against them either. I'm with you on that. I'm not trying to be Pollyannish on the Chiefs. You don't want to play the Chiefs. You don't want to play the Chiefs in Arrowhead. If the Steelers have to go to Arrowhead, it's over. You just don't want to. You don't want to go to Arrowhead for many reasons. You don't want to go there.
Bringing you on has been one of the best things I've ever decided to do. I'm going to bring
a lot of fun with you, John.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. We're going to the Super Bowl.
We've got people mentioning you, and I want to bring Bill Akins in here. Get me out of here, Bill, so you can jump in. Stephanie, who is it? Wilkie?
Stephen Winkle.
Stephen Winkle says, hello, Mr. Fedco. We've got people that are just excited to see you and just be on the show. It's Ronnie Hunter says via YouTube, 4-1, baby. So that's a pretty good one.
So whoever that band is that does the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl, they need to come up with that because they're going to get some play out of it. Remember that Steelers? Let's do another one of those.
Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl.
But now you got to get
cut that out.
I love it. You got to get Metcalf in there, and you got to get Darnell Washington. Now you got all the new names you can put in there, and of course Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is now could Mike Tomlin screw this up? Yeah, Mike Tomlin could screw this up. But so far so good, and everything's fallen into their lap as far as the division's a joke. It just is. It's a joke.
At the moment, it is. At the moment, things change in the NFL, John. I'm telling you, things change overnight.
They change in the NFL, but they're done. I mean, they cannot recover from this. What are they? They just can't.
How bad was the AFC East for 17, 18 years when Tom Brady was out there laying waste to everybody?
By the way, while you got me on, then let's talk about two things you just mentioned. Is it clear now that it was Brady over Belichick? It's pretty clear that it was Tom Brady was the reason they won, and Bill Belichick was not. It's just we don't have to talk anymore about that. And the other thing is we got to talk about James Franklin for a couple of minutes. Way to go, Penn State. I think first of all, you got to pull the trigger on him. He's a total disaster. That program was headed to complete destruction. They were losing all their recruits, including the guy from Pine Richland decommitted. Keemon Spell from McKeesport was not going to go there. Now those guys may come. And I think it's, that's a good move, Penn State. A lot of teams would not have done that. Now, you're hearing, I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, that Adidas paid him off. Someone had to pay him $49 million.
Yeah.
Okay? And of course, Penn State should be excoriated for giving him that money because he was a horrific coach.
And congratulations,
James Franklin was a horrific coach. Never should have been coaching college. He was horrific.
Congratulations to Terry Smith.
He was horrific.
John,
James Franklin was horrific.
Wait, I hear you, John. I hear you.
Okay.
Let's talk about Terry Smith for a minute. Terry Smith is the interim coach now, former coach at Gateway. He's going to get a lot of those WPIL kids to go to Penn State. He already has been doing that for the last 12 years. Smith did a great job at Gateway.
Yes, he did.
No, he's not going to be I'm sure he won't be the head coach next season, but I think he'll take the reins now and steer this team back to respectability.
I agree with that, Jerry. Number one, he's a great guy, and he was a great coach.
A good man.
He is a good man. He is a good man. Mm-hmm. Great recruiter. And I agree with you. I think things are really looking up for Penn State. And I think Penn State really needs to be praised for this. Is a move that a lot of colleges wouldn't have made. They'd have let this play out. That you had to get rid of him. That loss yesterday was unbelievably bad. At homecoming to lose to that team, Northwestern, and that you got to really praise Penn State for cutting him loose. So that right there tells me Penn State's on the right track.
And one of the best things about Terry Smith, he's been on the Fedco zone.
Well, I love Terry Smith. I really do love Terry Smith. And I will not be surprised if Terry Smith starts winning right away. He is a great coach, I think.
Right.
And I know he's only done it in high school. He was a great recruiter. Terry Smith has the ability, I believe, to be a great college coach. So I think this is awesome for Terry Smith. And I wish him the best. And I think he's a great coach. I'm not going to be surprised at all if he starts winning.
All right, real quickly, Michael Gott on YouTube. What's happened to the old Browns, Ravens in particular? I mean, they've injuries. Defense is not very
Their
good.
defensive coordinator's a joke.
Yeah,
It's an absolute joke. Look at the stats. Their defense is they're in the worst defense in the league.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about Lamar Jackson. Look at their defense. They're terrible.
They're bad. They're bad. All right. With that being said, I want to bring in the managing editor of West Virginia Sports Now, part of the Pittsburgh Sports Now family of websites, national writer for Yard Barker, heard on Sirius XM, Mike Ostie is going to join us.
Hey,
Mike?
guys, what's going on? What's going on?
It's a packed house tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy to be a part of this. Couldn't figure out the pregame show, so happy to be on.
Well,
it also was really awesome to plug in and join and then hear Mr. Fedko there talk about news that I broke an hour ago.
What was that? What did you break?
Well, the Adidas news.
Is that right?
Yeah, the Adidas Penn State news. I will brush my shoulders off. You can fact check that.
Great job, baby.
Good
job, Mike.
Yeah, but happy to be on with Jerry and John both. Well, I worked with Jerry when I was with the Trib. I got the PXI.
That's right.
John already was
Trib Live Radio.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so you broke some news today. That's excellent.
How about that? Yeah.
So let's just before we get into the Steelers, let's talk a little.
Sure.
Since we brought up Franklin, John Franco brought up Franklin. Yeah. How did this genesis come about? How did your source get to you? Talk a little bit about that. Why don't you, please?
Yeah, so this moved very, very fast, obviously. You lose the Northwestern game, and I don't believe that if he didn't lose the Northwestern game, this wouldn't have moved as fast. Oregon is a bad loss. UCLA is a way worse loss, but this really set the wheels in motion. And once this happened, and I wasn't necessarily expecting the firing to go down today, news of it happening immediately was surprising. I didn't certainly break the news of the firing happening, but I have multiple sources at Penn State, and as you guys know how journalism works, and you can just go through the roster. I don't really want to dime somebody out, but there's somebody on the staff who I know really, really well from covering the program that he previously worked at extensively. That then connected me to multiple agents, his agent, other agents, etc. And I did some digging because the real befuddling part about this happening so quick is, as you know, the buyout is a record. The buyout is insane. Even for Penn State that has the resources, that was a hang-up. But for all the people that I do see replying to my tweet, oh, how could this be going on? They're in a Nike school. They're becoming an Adidas school. They have a 10-year contract with Adidas. And Adidas apparently, from what I've been told, has wanted their guy in there for a while. They want to have their stamp now on the Penn State program. And James Franklin basically sunk himself. That obviously, with the national title expectations and taking the step they did take last year to at least get in the CFP and then make a run, that Adidas or whoever wouldn't have had a leg to stand on to call their shots. However, you lose to Oregon, you then lose to UCLA, and then you lose to Northwestern. And from what I'm hearing, Adidas then jumped in and basically said, we've always told you this as part of our working relationship that we want our guy in there. We know that wasn't what was going to happen if Penn State had this great year. But now you can't argue with us anymore because now this situation's there and we'll do whatever we can. And from what I'm hearing, Adidas is willing to pay most, if not all, of this money to make this happen. And this is just the new world of college athletics that we're living in here, that Jerry retired kind of right before this change here, because when you think about it, this is a way schools can come up with $50 million in an hour. If you have a company like that willing to do something, this is just the world we're living in, that you're going to have NIL boosters, donors, you're going to have major companies, the Adidas, the Nikes of the world, etc., out there and willing to do whatever to be in bed with these schools and then call their shots. So that's where it is right now.
Mike, is Adidas going to have a say in the next coach at Penn State?
So I can't confirm that, but let me just put it to you this way, and it's pretty clear. Adidas is throwing their weight around. So you would imagine they would have some weight and have some say-so and at least be informed on what's going on further on in now this search. So Matt Rule, Lane Kiffin, these are names people are already throwing out there that are on national reports. I certainly would look on who has Adidas connections. And if a coach has a Nike connection or a Nike sponsorship, I would wonder, I can't say for sure, I would wonder if that would be a problem. Now, obviously, they want to win games, but they're involved very much in what's going on there. And it does feel dirty. I do get that, the if true, this is bad. You could argue that.
Mike, is it true that Pat Kraft and James Franklin had a heated argument in front of the team last night? I read that on Twitter today.
Yeah, so I did hear that. That wasn't part of my digging. I mean, I don't cover them directly on a beat. I just have a lot of sources there. So I didn't actually look into that as extensively. I could, but I've heard that. I've heard that for sure. I've also heard that there are people that believed that James Franklin and Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator at Penn State, did not have a great relationship. And there are some that believe that he kind of sunk the offense and Drew Aller and him didn't fit. From what I've heard, that Andy Kotelnicki and James Franklin had a fine personal relationship, but there was a large discrepancy on how to run the offense, etc. But you could make an argument that if that's the case, then James should have taken the reins, because after you lose to UCLA, you don't just let it linger and go to Northwestern. But I do not think James thought this was going to happen today, and I am very sure that Adidas was part of this happening today.
Great job, by the way. Over 500,000 views on this tweet from less than 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And great job, Mike, by the way. I mean, congratulations. That's a nice story to have. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Mike,
I also see you have the Hilltop graphic over me.
We're trying to fix this right now. Get rid of me if you have to. Just get me out of here.
But I mean, to say that anything in college football is dirty is hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I have no problem with Adidas doing this, none whatsoever. Okay. Instead of my tax money doing it. Okay?
Well, that's a fair point.
None.
That's a fair point, and also as the way college athletics works,
correct.
You have a bank for the school athletics, you have a bank for NIL, and now it's all coming together, and you have a bank for the academics. So it's not exactly a direct link that if they say didn't spend this money, say it wasn't from Adidas, that they could buy an extra building for academics. It's not always connected, but I do get people look at that and say my tax dollars, etc. But this is an easier way to. I mean, you could actually, if you're a Penn State fan, I would actually be happy about this. And it's not so much, I know your thoughts on James Franklin, but I don't even mean necessarily the firing of James Franklin. And I do think he was there forever. He won a lot of games, but didn't win the big games. When he was a underdog or had equal talent, he would lose. And now he's losing games against teams he should beat. And forever, all those wins, 700 plus win percentage, a lot of them built, John, as you mentioned, against teams that he should have beat. He was out recruiting, he had more money, etc. But hearing the Adidas part would make me happy if I was a Penn State fan, because anybody worried that this will sink the school, or how can you do this, or taxpayer money, or anything involved of money for the school, to have one of the major shoe companies that is going nowhere be so interested in your program, not only would they sign a 10-year deal, which is true, factually out there, they're doing that, but also be willing to involve themselves and kind of bail you out when you kind of have to get rid of a coach because there's a public outcry and he's been there forever. That's good. Not every program has that. Jerry, I mean, you covered Pitt forever. I cover West Virginia directly right now. Adidas and Nike are not, as we stand, willing to throw $50 million at Pitt or West Virginia to do what they want in terms of coaches. I mean,
well, Mike, my only fear is that now Adidas is going to want to have a say in who the coach is going to be. I'm sure they didn't spend $49 million to just sit back and let Pat Kraft hire whoever he wants to. I think they're going to have a big say on who the next coach. And
I would imagine
that's dangerous. I don't know. I'm not saying that's dangerous, but it's potentially dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, John, I don't know. Is that a pushback to your thoughts? Nope. I mean, I know that's possibly the case.
I think college football, once they went to this NIL nonsense, it's gone completely out of control. And I have absolutely no problem with what Adidas did, and I don't care if they have a say in the coach. Okay. Because again, as a taxpayer, I was furious over
we're all
having to pay that James Franklin nonsense. Just like now, we're getting into this Accuser Stadium stuff.
Yeah.
Again, the Steelers are coming begging for money Mike, do you live in Allegheny County?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you, Jerry?
Butler County.
Okay, good for you. Okay, so Mike, I own a house. This house is in Allegheny County.
I'm in Allegheny County. Yeah.
My property taxes are insane.
Yeah.
And the county taxes, the insanity of those county taxes.
And I'm in the South Hills, so I'm 20 minutes away from Washington County.
Yeah. And listen, I'm a guy that made a living as a sportscaster here. I'm an old man. I'm 65 for 30 years. The Steelers
you look great, by the way. For 60.
Mike, you're too nice. The Steelers should not get a dime. Actually, they should not get a dime, okay, of our money. They are rolling in money. The Steelers are rolling in money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just rolling it. They're printing it. So my tax money should not go to their stadium.
Have the Steelers said they want money from the taxpayers in order to renovate?
I don't know.
The
They're redoing seats. Isn't that coming from the RAD thing?
Yeah,
I'm not
I'll
paying
give that
too much
to John.
attention to.
I'm not reporting that part.
But any private company like Adidas that can jump in and start helping with this, I'm okay. I have no.
Yeah, as long as, I guess, to Jerry's point, as long as it doesn't affect the quality of the coach. Like if, for example, Matt Rule has ties there, he's proven to win with a lot worse resources. He's in the Big Ten now. If the program wants him, but Adidas doesn't, that could be an issue. That could be murky waters. And then you're in a situation where if it doesn't work out, who are you blaming? And if you're the AD, do you call Adidas and say, well, bail me out again because you hired a guy that I didn't want? I mean, you're going to get down a slippery slope that I think Jerry is alluding to.
Sure. Yeah, I totally believe it.
But it's better than not having the money because, I mean, again, there were people before Pitt got running again after the West Virginia loss. They wanted Narduzzi gone. He's been there a long time too. But a buyout could be a problem for Pitt. They're not rolling in money. West Virginia's not rolling in money.
Right.
And State already had more resources, and now they have Adidas. I mean, this could be the next guy. He might have a lot of people from Adidas kind of up his you-know-where, but this makes this more of an attractive job to me. I mean, if I'm an agent of any of these coaches who maybe would want this, I would like this situation. Granted, yes, maybe I don't want to answer to people that work for Adidas, but we'll see where this goes.
It's a great story. Great job, Mike, breaking that. That's just.
Yeah, thank you.
Mike, great job. I appreciate you coming on. We're going to be wrapping up the show soon. Mike Aussie. I mean, that's a big story. You got to with the boys retweeting you and a whole bunch of other people.
I saw, man. Pablo Torre followed me. We'll see where that goes.
Okay.
And I was going to be on the pregame show. This is just luck of the draw here. We had technical difficulty. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise, John.
And I'm going to tell you, for Thursday, these logos, I'm fixing them. I'm going to fix them. Because we want to see your face, Mike.
I know. I mean, I have a...
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Mike Drop, tremendous job on the story with James Franklin's buyout. Adidas paying it. Mike Austin, our guy, breaking it. John Fedko, my guy. Jerry DePaul.
Jerry DePaul is the best. He's just the greatest. It's been a great day. It's been a great day in Pennsylvania sports, man. Penn State nukes Franklin. The Steelers look great. It's been beat the Cleveland Browns. It's been awesome.
John, how can I be the greatest if you're the greatest?
You're the greatest.
There's only room for one greatest.
You and Paul Zeiss and Mike.
Zeiss is a good man
was
too.
Tremendous today. Zeiss was tremendous.
He literally walked out of the hospital and came to the pregame show. Can you believe that? He still had his hospital tag on his wrist.
I love Paul Zeiss. Kid,
just a trooper.
His kid was an incredible football player.
Yes,
incredible.
Elijah,
incredible,
absolutely
incredible.
Linebacker at Pitt, yeah,
yep, absolutely,
and incredible in high school, incredible.
John, I can't thank you enough. I'm so excited to be able to do something with you again.
It's great to be on with Jerry DePaula. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
And Jerry, we need Jerry to calm me down because Jerry's always the voice of reason.
It's impossible to calm you down, John.
You're the voice of reason, and I always needed Jerry DePaul to go, wait a minute.
Pump the brakes a little bit, John. Take it easy. No more caffeine for you.
I tend to get a little bit excited, but I am really excited about the Steelers, and I am predicting that the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
Wow!
So, there we go.
That's a big one.
I'll tell you right now, the Steelers go to the Super Bowl.
Wow, John, we'll see you on Thursday night. Yes. We'll have about an hour post game on Thursday.
Now that the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl, I'm in till February, and then except you got to promise me this, and you got to promise me Jerry will be in the show. We need to devote a whole show to the Super Bowl halftime show because you want to see me go nuts. Tune into that show and promote it. You want to see me go nuts on the NFL? Let's do a show on that disastrous halftime show that they're talking about. And hopefully Elon Musk has said he's pulling his money. So I know that there's going to be another halftime show that goes up against it, but I think there's a shot they pull that guy. Bad Buddy, whatever he is.
I'll tell you what, if we don't do it, Bill will have you on the sports desk for an entire hour, and they'll break the internet with that.
Yeah. I look at Jerry. You don't want anything to do with this. See, I told Phillips he has no idea what he's getting.
I have no interest in watching anybody's halftime show.
Well, hey, Jerry, do you remember who the halftime show was in Detroit? Were you there?
No, I wasn't in Detroit, no.
Okay, I was in Detroit, and incredibly, Steigerwald and I had seats on the 50-yard line in the press box. It was unbelievable. The halftime show in Detroit was the Rolling Stones.
Oh, yes.
Now that's good.
It was the Rolling Stones.
I would watch that.
Now I got to get this guy. I never even heard of him. I mean, the Super Bowl should be a celebration of everything that's great about America. Okay, so that's what it should be.
You're right.
It's the one thing. Okay, that's all I'm asking. Everything that's great about America. That's all I'm asking from the Super Bowl. And we may get that with the Steelers because the Steelers are what's great about America. We'll all agree with that in the show.
That's right. That's right. John Fenko, you're the best, man. Thank you for coming on. We'll talk to you on Thursday, okay?
Can't wait. I love you, Jerry.
All right.
Hey, John.
See you, John. John Fenko, everybody. Unbelievable. I waited 23 years. I waited for this. Yeah. Does not disappoint ever. Does John Fenko? Does not disappoint. Jerry DePaula, a couple of thoughts here before we.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl when they're 4-1. You know, there's 12 games left. They got Cincinnati on the road. They got Green Bay and Indianapolis coming up. Those games are at home, but those are very formidable opponents. Steelers could very easily be 5-3 here at the beginning in November, which is a good record, probably enough to get them keeping first place in the division. But Cincinnati's losing 10-0 now to Green Bay, so that's not going to happen. And the Steelers should win in Cincinnati Thursday night. But you know what? They're going to play the game anyway. Let's see what happens.
All right. I want to thank Bill Akins. Bill, you want to pop in here for a few minutes? Or I want to give you an opportunity to at least talk a little bit. Bill Akins, I can't do this show without a lot of people, and it starts with Bill. Your thoughts on today's game? Anything for Jerry DePaula while he's here?
Well, I mean, I thought it was a decent game. What stuck out to me at the start was I was happy they got the tight ends involved early. I liked the stick routes by Washington. I thought that was good. But I mean, hey, they didn't exactly tear through that Cleveland defense today. I mean, they got the job done, but I mean, I will say this. It was nice to see Rodgers spread the ball around. He had 21 completions, and he had 8 different receivers. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's almost like Tom Brady-esque, from the, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positives you can take out of this game today, for sure.
All right, real quickly, North Park Lounge, Richland, Hilltop Event Center, the North Park Lounge Restaurant Group. I want to thank Mark Baranowski and his entire crew here. They have been so good to us. They are the reason why we're on the air, the reason why we're able to do what we're doing. That's why we can bring you John Fenko and Jerry DePaula. These guys aren't cheap, okay? Or Bill Akins. But the NPL Restaurant Group has been so good to us and has gotten us off the ground. And this show's going to grow. We're going to get it out there more, and we're going to get our legs. And we appreciate everybody that's been, checking us out, following us on all the social media sites at Steel City Sunday. Some of them you got to give a capital letter. Some of them you don't. We'll try to get all the social media sites together and just make it uniform. But, hey, it is what it is. Arch Masonry and Restoration, brick masons, block masons, concrete finishers, laborers. If you're looking for work in that area and you're not happy where you're at, 412-564-5733 or visit archmasonryinc.com. If you have no experience, that's no problem. They have programs that will teach you a career in the building trades. 412-564-5733, archmasonryinc.com. Jerry, any last thoughts before we let you go? Thursday night, the Steelers have a date in Cincinnati.
Well, let's see what they can do coming off a short week and going on the road.
Yeah.
Cincinnati is not a very good team with Joe Flacco at quarterback. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season when the Steelers are going to play, like I said, the Packers, the Colts, Buffalo. I think at some point this season, Baltimore is going to be a better team than what they are now. I really believe. I know John Fedko won't agree with me, but at some point, the Ravens are going to be a team that's going to have something to say about this division.
Yeah, and of course, having this big lead right now that they do, I believe. Yeah, it's a nice cushion. Exactly. Bengals are losing 10-0 right now, second quarter in Green Bay. Looks like the Packers are trying to put a drive together. They're near midfield. Cincinnati. Boy, I tell you, that'd be nice to see them at 2-4. Not going to lie, as the Steelers are 4-1. All right, Bill Akins. Anything else?
I'm good. No,
all right.
I'm good.
Don't forget, It's a Wrap Sports. We also cannot do. There's so many people that have helped us, and sometimes it's easy to forget. But I don't want to forget Maddie B, Patrick Bernard, and everybody at It's a Wrap Sports. They help us get this show on the air. They have a ton of programs, Eagles related, Penn State related. Boy, those are hot shows right now. All of those are on. The wraparound with Pat Bernard. They talk about Philly sports. Hey, look, I know we're Pittsburgh people, but there are probably some transplants that may be watching this. You want to check out Pat Bernard. He's a professional writer, covers the Philadelphia Union, covers Villanova athletics, does an amazing job. He's a tremendous social media guy. He helps us a great deal. What about that Penn State show we just talked about? Props, locks, and parlays. Happy Valley Huddle with Mike Loro. Go check that show out. And, of course, Maddie B and that crew, the final word with Maddie B at 10 o'clock, Sunday through Thursday. You want to hear some Philly sports talk? There it is for you. We thank them for getting us on the air and helping us launch this. We're excited to be 5 weeks in. Still got 12 weeks left.
Good job, Jordan. Good job.
I'm trying. We're trying. I know it's growing pains, and today was, an experience. We'll get better. We'll figure out all of these things, and we're excited if you're making us a part of your routine on Steeler Game Day. For our entire cast and crew, Jerry DePaula, Bill Akins, John Fedko, Paul Zeiss, Mike Austin, breaking major news. Todd Haley says he wants to be a part of the show every week. I mean, where are you going to get this? In Pittsburgh. You aren't, unless you're at Steel City Sunday on all the social media sites. We'll talk to you Thursday. We'll be here live for pregame at 5 o'clock, immediately following the Steelers and Bengals. We'll try to get some shorts and reels out to you through the course of the week. Until then, Pittsburgh, Steelers are 4-1. Not too shabby, to quote the great Duke Straczynski. We'll see you Thursday, folks. This is Steel City Sunday on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We'll see you on Thursday.